do some phone calls.
Well done.
And
This is the keynote. This is the new.
Hey, let's get started. Welcome to NITOC2015. I'm Danny Eldridge, and this is my wife, Pam Eldridge. And we're excited to have the opportunity to serve you all this week. One of the biggest things is, as a board member for 3 years, I had the opportunity to participate with the marketing committee to create a vision statement for STOA, which is Speak Boldly, Changing the World for Christ. One of the ways we want to do that this week is by speaking through serving. We have a excellent team that we've had the opportunity to come together and serve you. So we want to recognize a couple people just before we get started. On facilities, we have Ron and Carrie Beeman. In CAB, we have Renette Talking. Administration has been Sandra Jones. Judge World, Andrew Childress. And then the other two people we want to recognize and actually bring up here to start the ceremony off is our board, the STOA board. So please welcome Dr. Van Schalen. Sounds like a batting order. From Missouri, batting second, Mark Russell. From Arkansas, Angela Childress. From Georgia, Patsy Buckman. And I think we have one more for Colorado. It's Dave McKinley. Unfortunately, he's in staff, so he will be receiving the work this evening. Also, we have John Knight from Pennsylvania. Woohoo! And two other people we'd like to recognize this is the STOA community are Craig Smith, and TJ Harvey. Woohoo! And unfortunately, Robert Kwan is not here with us. He's caught in the storms in Charlotte. So, all right, perfect. So the other people we want to invite up right now is our alumni. So if we can have the alumni come up onto the stage. So if you're an alumni, a STOA alumni, please come up on the stage. Got a little gift for you. Come quickly. What?
So some of our alumni registered as judges, and they might have noticed that we asked them for a t-shirt size. And we wanted to just honor them for coming back and serving you after they have gone out from this community to be bold out there in the big bad world. And so we had a t-shirt made for your alumni for this year, and we just wanted to recognize them and thank them for serving you.
We have one special alumni tonight who is going to actually welcome us from BJU. Her name is Anna Smith.
Hello, my name is Anna Smith. I believe I'm first on the list. My name tag. Thank you. Well, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be standing here right now to witness the collaboration of two of my favorite communities, and that is the STOA National Station Debate League and Boston's University. And the fact that both are a part of the community of believers makes it no wonder why there's no place that I'd rather be than at this spot at this moment. I was involved in speech and debate really since the age of 5 up until my senior year when I competed in STOA in 2013, my senior year of high school. And I was honored to win the title of tournament champion. And today, as a junior journalism and mass communications student here at Boston's University, I can't tell you how grateful I am for all the lessons that I learned from STOA, from all of you. And every time I return to these tournaments, as a judge, I am asked by many people, why did I choose to attend Boston's University? And I am privileged to have the opportunity to share those reasons with you today. So why BJU? Well, there are so many opportunities here as a student to build my faith and relationship with Jesus Christ. There are so many outlets that draw me closer to my Savior, found right here on campus, one of which happens Monday through Thursday in this building, 11 to 11:35, where we have chapel messages. And our president, Dr. Steve Pettit, is really burdened to have this opportunity for students to take time out of their busy day to sit down, be refreshed by the body of believers, to worship Christ and dig in His Word. And that's just one of the many ways. We also have several outreach ministries. I think college life is notorious for being me-focused. So let's think about it. It's the time when you're independent, you have your schedule to figure out. It's my schedule, my major, my classes. And with that comes a lot of dissatisfaction if we're just focused on ourselves. And with BJU, there are so many chances to outreach, to have ministries. We have people every week going to nursing home ministries, going to crisis pregnancy centers, prisons, detention centers. And through that, a lot of BJU students would attest to finding contentment and joy in doing what we were made to do, what God made us to do, and that is to serve others. And I believe that that is something that we need to do during our college years. And really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. BJU believes in promoting the growth of the whole person through a liberal arts education. As a student, there are countless opportunities to grow, to apply the communication skills that I learned from being in STOA for those 6 years. Are there any interp lovers in here? Interp lovers? Yes, right on. Well, here at BJU, it takes acting to a whole new level. Right next door, we have Rhodahaven Auditorium, and in there is housed an actual Broadway stage that was bought from a New York City theater. It is legit. I really encourage you to go check it out. I was able to participate in a production this past semester that was seen literally by thousands of people from the Greenville and South Carolina communities. It is a huge outreach ministry that we have here right now that has just a great quality of programs. And all students are free to participate, even encouraged to participate, regardless of their major. There are other ways that challenges your potential through the extracurriculars beyond the classroom. There are plays that are led by students, several each year. We have The Collegian, which I was a staff writer of. It's an award-winning newspaper. We have IQ Radio, which has an international audience. WBJU is the campus TV station. There are so many ways, so many hands-on ways to apply the communication skills that y'all are learning right now. Yes, if you come, you may enter y'all into your vocabulary, but trust me, it is a great contraction. I really do appreciate it. Most important, I get to close with this thought that the goal of the BJU education is to help all students follow Christ in all of our endeavors. We are encouraged by the faculty members to keep Christ at the center because let's face it, any earthly success means absolutely nothing if it is not ultimately for Christ. Christ does need to be at the center of our focus. So whether you're majoring in interior design, mathematics, engineering, communication, whatever, the faculty member puts a high priority on following Christ in all that we do as we study our passions. And with the 14-to-1 student-faculty ratio, I've been able to develop personal relationships with individual faculty faculty members. And they have shown through their words and actions that they are there for me, not only with academic help, but also spiritual and emotional encouragement. Now, really, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we would love to share more about Bob Jones University. So feel free to explore the website, bju.edu. I've always wanted to say this phrase in front of an audience, but I will be here all week, and so will all of you. So feel free to come up to me if you have any questions. Better yet, visit the Welcome Center. There are lovely people at the front desk who would love to talk to you. Also, at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. every day this week, there's a media presentation in the Welcome Center if any of you are curious about what life is like as a college student at BJU. So most importantly, I know a lot of you are at a stage where you're considering universities, and most importantly, I'd like to encourage you to seek out and be open to God's leading, especially in your junior and senior year of high school. And this is something that I wish I had done more sincerely. I actually didn't decide to come to Bob Jones University until 3 weeks before they enrolled in the fall after my high school senior year. And that was when I finally surrendered to God's calling, which was for me to come to BJU. And here 2 years later, I don't regret it at all. I look back on it as a positive turning point in my life. Now, I know BJU is not for everyone, but I do believe that it is a university that everyone should consider. BJU inspires me, in conclusion, as a disciple of Christ, to push the limits of my potential and to do everything for the glory of God.
We'd like to thank BJU for opening their facilities for us. And as part of our using their facilities, we have a couple of few rules that we'd like to show you as well.
The sun shines bright on the campus this time. Speakers in preparation, and it looks like time to compete. Before we begin, there's some things you need to know. That's why we made a rules video. Keep your place clean, throw trash away. Don't leave your lunch out there all day. Take yourself with you when you go. Well, now you know. You should know. You should know. The rules in this video. Here we go. Here we go. Don't be no show. Judges care, but you're willing to It's funny how together we get really, really loud. So stay quiet in the hallways, don't even make a sound. It's time to see if you can be at home on time to complete. Sleep, 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 and healthy. Let's see. Anyway.
Actually, there's one more serious thing that we've got to mention. One of the things that you need to be aware of is BJU is a car right-of-way. There are two intersections that you need to be very careful when crossing when we're here in the next couple of days. One is just outside of Founders, and the other one is on the other side of Rodehaver. Okay, so just let you know, the cars have the right-of-way. We're going to try to put some signs up there that say go slow, but you just need to make sure you look both ways. And if you're driving through those intersections, because there are two main roads on either side here, just make sure you're taking it slow, please, as the students are going back and forth. So that's one more thing we wanted to remind you of. Right now, we actually have a special board presentation, so I'm going to invite up here Mark Russell.
Thanks, Nene and Pam. Tonight, we're going to honor and make a recognition, and I'd like to read you a quote from the presentation. It says, "Great leaders communicate a vision that captures the imagination and fires the hearts and minds of those around them." I'm really honored tonight to recognize one of our own, Van Shalen. From dawn to dark, and probably sometimes the wee hours of the morning, Van, he's dedicated the last 4 years of his life to serving on the National STOA Board. His sacrifice and support of his wonderful wife, Susan, and their children is unsurpassed. STOA thanks you from the bottom of our hearts, and I'm proud to call you my friend. Van.
Thank you very much. Did not expect that. I expected to bounce up here and be all happy. I'm happy, but just a little emotional. What I wanted to come up and say is, hello, STOA! Welcome to the 6th National Invitational Tournament of Champions. Are you ready to speak boldly? Yes. Are you ready to change the world for Christ? Yes. Are you ready to live out STOA's theme verse, Romans 11:36, for from him, through him, and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. And are you ready for a great tournament? Yes. So we are already off to a great start with the Parley Championship now completed, and we'll find out about that in a few minutes. But for me, tonight is about thank yous. I've been fortunate enough to travel around the country. I really didn't expect that, no. And to meet so many of you. I've been able to attend over a dozen tournaments around the country, not in my home state of California. And so many of you are kind and gracious and come up and say thank you to me. But I want to shift the focus tonight and say thank you to others. And I want to start with two people who have dedicated more time than you will ever know to this. In fact, they're so dedicated that they're celebrating their anniversary with you tonight. And I want to say thank you to your NITOC 2015 tournament directors, Danny and Pam Eldridge. They have put in more time than you will ever know. Before I got started with some of the other thank yous, though, Mrs. Harding and her debate committee had come up to me, and they had noticed, as they're watching tournaments around the country this year, that many of you who should be participating in Lincoln Douglas Value Debate have not been doing so over the course of the year. And they want to encourage you to participate in it. And Mrs. Harding asked me if I could just demonstrate for you how easy it really is to do Lincoln Douglas Value Debate, such that you would all want to participate in the event. So if you will please join me at the end of my first affirmative constructive speech. Oh, are my judges ready? And my timers ready? Would the judges mind if I put my name tag on? I thank Hannah for setting that up. I didn't know she was going to help me there. And join me at the end of my first affirmative constructive speech. I am now ready for cross-examination. So your value is rainbows and unicorns? Yes, I call it a double value, making it doubly hard to defeat. Were you aware that unicorns are not real? Not real? No, not real. So? This is Lincoln Douglas Value Debate, right? Well, yes. Well, they debate the real stuff in team policy. Okay, I will remove the horn and go with ponies. So, my double value is now rainbows and ponies. Well, rainbows aren't real either. Do you have any evidence to back up that? I'm sorry, team policy again. Well, you're sure they're not real? They're not real. It's just sunshine refracted through raindrops. Well, why should the judge vote for rainbows? Hello, this is Lincoln Douglas Value Debate, and rainbows are pretty. But they're not real. Okay, back to Lincoln Douglas then. I'll forget the evidence. My double value is going to be sunshine and ponies. Still a double value, still making it doubly hard to defeat. And judges, anyone arguing against sunshine and ponies is just mean. Mean is what they do in team policy debate. I mean, seriously, have you seen those cross-examinations? I mean, it's brutal stuff. This is Lincoln Douglas Value Debate, and it's a much more civilized form of debate. And mean is not a value that you should reward with your ballots. So judges, I urge you to vote against my mean, valueless opponent, and instead vote for sunshine and ponies. Vote affirmative. It's going to make you feel good. Easy. Any of you could do that, and you will be doing it next year. But it turns out that Mrs. Harding and her committee also noticed that some of you should be doing team policy debate and are not. And I know some of you are frightened by the mind-numbing hours of debate research. I mean, the opportunity to expand your educational horizons. But truth be told, team policy debate is really not that hard. And so they asked me to show you, and actually what I'm going to demonstrate is what you will see starting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. So join me again at the end of my first affirmative constructive speech. I now stand ready for a cross-examination. Are you aware that Congress passed your plan last week? My partner will be addressing that in his next speech. Are you aware that not one single person is harmed in the status quo? My partner will be addressing that in his next speech. I listened carefully to you Would you agree with me that there are no advantages to your affirmative plan? Well, I have 3 responses. First, let me say that I'm not going to fall for that "would you agree with me" trap. My coach, Griffith Verticon, has me far too well trained to fall into that. Second, let me say that my first voting issue is that this is team policy debate and that they do the real thinking in Lincoln Douglas. And third, let me say that my partner will be addressing that in his next speech. Well, are you aware that passage of your plan will bankrupt the dollar, instantly cause the collapse of the federal government, lead to global chaos and nuclear holocaust? Well, I have 2 responses. First, my partner will be addressing the minor annoyance of nuclear holocaust in his next speech. And second, wait, didn't you just say that Congress passed our plan? This surprises you? So Congress passed our plan, and none of those terrible things happened. So judges, my second voting issue is, and you will want to circle this on your flow, no disadvantages to the affirmative plan. No disadvantages to the affirmative plan. Wow, I'm sorry, I see that I've managed to babble away during your entire cross-ex time. But let me close by saying that I do realize that this is just the first cross-examination in the round. But judges, I must point out that the negative team has not made one argument against our affirmative plan in this entire round. And if they do, my partner will be addressing that in his next speech. So you laugh, but you go watch the constructives here starting tomorrow morning, and you watch those first affirmatives throw their partner under the bus round after round after round. It happens, I'm not kidding. So Mrs. Harding is going to be checking on you all next year and making sure that you're doing these forms of debate. Those of you just arriving, she did notice that you were not doing parliamentary debate. She wants to know why, and she is taking names. So just so you know, you're on notice for that. So there are some other thank yous that I would like to get to, though. I would like all of those who are part of the NITOC 2015 team to stand up. These folks are dedicated servants and are giving so much of their time and energy, and we need to thank them for putting on what has already been a wonderful NITOC. Please stand so we can say thank you. If you are a parent or an alumni, you are all tournament staff. You will be performing one of the most important jobs at the tournament, and that is filling out the thousands and thousands of ballots that are necessary at NITOC. So if you're a parent or alumni, we want to thank you right now. Hopefully we get to thank you again, but please stand. We want to thank you in advance for everything you're going to do to serve this tournament. So go ahead, stand up, parents and alumni, say thank you. Your feedback in the lives of these students is invaluable. You are helping to shape the next generation to impact the world for Christ. I was going to share with you some of the principles that make SOA unique and what I think is a wonderful organization. However, even as the president, I not have time to do that. I thought I had about 2 hours tonight, and they said, no, you get maybe 10 minutes max. But I do want to make just a few comments about NITOC and your role in STOA. The STOA board only runs one tournament a year, and that's NITOC, and you're all attending. So NITOC is unique. It is the 3rd largest high school forensics national championship in the country. Woo. Yeah, big deal. STOA and NITOC are open. There are 5 Christian homeschool speech and debate organizations in the country. STOA and NITOC are open to all 5 of them, and all 5 have participated. STOA is the only organization that is open and inviting and inclusive in that way. We're proud of it. There are over 90 tournaments this year, most ever on the STOA calendar. Those are administrated by local leaders. Many of them are sitting with you here tonight. And you would not be here at NITOC if it had not been for their servant attitudes and the way in which they have helped you. So if you in any way have put on a tournament or served at a local tournament this year, I also want to recognize you because you're the ones that make STOA go from October all the way through April. So please stand. We want to say thank you to all those local tournament administrators. And just as STOA trusts local leaders to know what is needed most in their local communities as they run their tournaments, STOA trusts you, the membership, with knowing what's best for the organization as a whole. The board submits its major decisions to STOA members for vote. And actually, we're in the middle of that process right now. 900 families still haven't voted, though. You might be one of them. I'm sure every one of you has voted. But if you haven't, vote tonight. Voting closes Thursday, the 21st. I'll announce the results at awards on Saturday. But I want you to call your friends, email your clubs, the families you know, get them all to vote, okay? It's important. This is your league. We collectively are raising a generation of students consistent with STOA's theme verse. And I mentioned it from Romans 11:36. For from him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. We are raising a generation of students that can live out STOA's vision statement of speaking boldly, changing the world for Christ. But we're doing this together. It's not just those of us on the board. It's the families. We have the opportunity to serve you, and we are participating in this together. I know the STOA board was recognized earlier, but I also want to take the chance to say thank you to them. I mean, this is in front of you. Think about this. 2/3 of the folks that participated in tournaments this year are at home wishing they could be in the seats that you're in tonight. So you fortunately are a very blessed group to be able to be here. The board behind me here has worked tirelessly for you. Each one of them has a role at this tournament in some form or another as well. We are your servants. You are STOA. We serve you. So I want you to take the week and introduce yourself. Come up and say hi. Share with us your hopes and your dreams for STOA. Share with us things that we can do better, because we always can. We want to know areas in which we can improve. We want to help make STOA, with you, the best possible organization so that you have a wonderful experience and that all of our STOA families are blessed. So I want you to please join me in saying thank you to this excellent board who works so hard throughout the year. They make sacrifices too, and in so many ways, I get to be the guy up front, but so much of the work is being done back here. So I want to say thank you tonight to this wonderful board. I would also like to say thank you to Mr. Craig Smith, who's the head of our speech committee. The name changed this year. We went from IE, and we thought, well, that just leaves duo out every time. I mean, and they've been feeling pretty lonely all these years. So he's now the head of our speech committee. So I want to thank Mr. Craig Smith and all the folks on the speech committee. And even though I poked fun at Mrs. Harding, a wonderful debate chairman, and I want to thank her and all the folks that have worked so hard on your debate committees to make debate an excellent experience for you and STOA. And I have one last joyful task that I get to perform tonight. And that's to introduce to you the person that will be assuming the presidency when I get term limited out at the end of July. I am pleased to be able to introduce to you tonight STOA's incoming president. The board is introducing this individual tonight because we want you to get to know this individual throughout the course of the week. We're transitioning. My time is finishing. This person's time is just starting. We believe that God has uniquely anointed this individual to lead this organization for all of you. Or should I say y'all? I might could do that. So he is a humble man, a godly man, and I'm confident that he will provide excellent leadership for STOA. So I want you to join me in congratulating and welcoming to the podium from the great state of Missouri, the STOA-elect president, Mr. Mark Russell.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited. And it'll be some hard shoes to fill. I look forward to serving this organization for the next 2 years, and it will take each and every one of us to grow this organization. We think there's some exciting things ahead for STOA, This week, we have a marketing team that's looking to growing STOA throughout the United States. We have some very hefty goals of maybe doubling in 3 years. I think that, you know, we all have some roles, and is what I'd call, we all have our callings, we all have our vocations. Many of them are as parents, as students, as moms, as board of directors, as coaches, and those roles will come and they'll go, and we have our roles at home. And as today I was sitting there thinking, and I'm going to pick on TJ just a minute again, that TJ, it seems like a whack-a-mole kind of a day. And if you're not familiar with whack-a-mole, it seems like every time you bash something down and get it stopped, something else pops up somewhere else. And that happens a lot, I think, behind the curtain that we have in our tournaments. But there's, I think, a reason that whack-a-mole happens. And that it shows that there's a need to do this. If that mole wasn't popping up, we wouldn't need to do this. So I look forward to serving you, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. Thank you.
I have to say, Mark Russell just stole my joke. I want to introduce TJ Harding up to the podium. She's actually going to play whack-a-mole with us. So, come on, TJ.
Oh, snap. I just became the whack-a-mole girl, didn't I? Stop me in the hall and I'll explain how I got that nickname. Okay, before I get started, the first thing I want to do, welcome everybody, speakers and debaters, but Harley debaters. They've already been in the trenches. They've already gotten a little bit bloody and a little bit muddy. And they've already debated in a manner that makes me personally and everybody sitting up here behind me amazingly proud of you. We are a leader, especially in homeschool debate, but even in public school debate, there's just not a lot of Carly. People said you guys couldn't do it. I think you have shown them that you can. So. Okay, really what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking to the parents so the debaters can take a little nap, but it'll be a short nap because I'm going to be quick. Probably debaters, if you want to add some knocking, if you agree with some of the stuff I'm going to say. Good news, parents. We are not going to require that you re-attend a judge orientation for NITOC. Okay? Better news. I am here to give you the vitamin in a nutshell version of JO most important top things to remember so that you will be the most amazing judge ever when you go in to judge these debaters in these rounds. Thank you, parents, for all that you do. We know that every time you go into a round, you know that when you come out, one team is going to love you and one team is not. And that makes it hard to pick up that ballot every time. So thank you for all that you do to pour into these kids. We also, yes, you can show them some love. We also realize that you've all attended a judge orientation in your home states, regions, towns, tournaments, that you're very familiar with ballot processes, and that each of you has put your own fingerprint on those processes. And we have heard you that your way of doing it is the absolute best way in the world. And we agree with you, all of you. However, at NITOC, what we'd really like to do is take all of those fantastic state, regional, local tournament flavors and blend them together and try to give our debaters the most consistent standard on our ballots possible. So there's a few things. Yeah, I got some Carly knockers there. There are a few things that we would like you to remember. So you can take notes if you want to. First, set aside your personal opinion. See why I told them they can probably not? So what does that mean? Obviously, it means judge solely on the arguments you hear in the round. That seems like an easy thing to do. We're going to give you a few tips that even help you ensure that you're doing that. A, remember that you got to be willing to vote for a position that you do not personally hold. That's a tough thing to do. B, and this is going to give you some personal accountability. Write for the argument, write down on the ballot under that reason for decision for the debaters, the argument or arguments that won the round, and I'm not finished. Also write down the arguments that did not win the round so that the debaters can kind of see how it played out in your mind and how that flow worked when you came to make your decision. Parents, you will be tempted, but do not come back to the judge room and fact check on your phone while you are filling out your ballots. We know you want to, I want to. That does not mean you can't look it up after you've turned in your ballots, but not as you're making your decision. Number 3, please do not allow the debaters to explain or extend arguments if you choose to exercise your right to judge review. This is one that really gets us tangled up at NITOC, and what we want is just a lot of unity and being on the same page at this tournament and not to get into friction and faction and things that stress us out and strain our relationships. So during judge review, you may review the evidence, but do not engage with the debaters about the evidence, please. This is a fun one. This is a personal favorite. Judges, please fill out your ballot in the judges area. I cannot tell you the mayhem that it causes your staff when you go AWOL with your ballots. Some of you know who you are. And then finally, I'd like you to remember that there are, oh, I skipped one. I'm not to finally yet. There is a difference, parents, between debate rules and debate theory. I have a really soft crowd in here, folks, you can't tell. If debaters claim a rules violation in the round, you are welcome to review the rules, and we have copies for you in the judges area, so just make a note of it, what you need to see. Now, finally, there are different flavors, different regional norms. And when we come together, you may see things that you don't normally see in your hometown tournaments. So what we'd ask you to do is just listen with an open mind to what the debaters have to say, and then vote for the debater that makes the most cogent, strongly advocated argument on that issue. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Here's a warning to parents. Judges who go AWOL with ballots become tournament directors. Next, we'd like to have Craig Smith come up and guacamole with speech.
Thank you very much. In admiration of the extempors out there, I have all my notes on A3I55. This is a list of names. That didn't count. They got that afterward. I want to let you know that with the electronic script submission we did for this, we only had about a dozen folks that needed to bring anything over to the provisional table. Meaning, all that stress of standing in line and hoping and praying that nothing happens and goes wrong with the script, it wasn't part of your evening tonight. Wasn't that nice? That was a good thing, right? That was folks on the speech committee doing that, along with some of the people behind the scenes. So I just think that was wonderful. I do have some names that we would like to see. So real quickly, these nice people, head over to the provisional drop-off table. Parker Johnson, Nathan Ray, Jamie, yeah, I know it feels like you should be clapping here, but don't. Jamie Chrisley, Hannah Habig, Rachel Toll, Libby Wegscheid, and Ruth Bussler. Looks like we might have something missing. So come on over there, all right? And just like TJ said, you're the pros. You've been at the most tournaments, parents. You've seen the orientation slides. So again, I'm going to admonish you and say you should come and see an orientation, the speech orientation, because maybe it's been a while since you've been to an orientation. It's been over a month since a lot of us have been at tournaments, right? And maybe the speech orientation you went to was at the beginning of the season, or maybe it was even last year. So we really want to strongly, highly recommend that you come to the orientation. Right now, I'm going to hit some highlights. But again, the orientation you may see will be the NITOC version. It won't have a regional flavor per se. And there might be some things that you can glean from that and take back to your tournaments as well. So here are some tournament learnings that we've been keeping track of, and I'm just going to reiterate right now. Regarding time, there are no minimum times on speeches. Likewise, there is no penalty for going over time. The whole reason we added the little time thing in the duration was simply as a reminder. It's a reminder that there's a time limit, but there are no formal penalties, all right? And we do encourage grace for minor infractions. At the same time, all time evaluations are up to the discretion of the judges. And for your information, we tell the same sort of situation to our community judges, all right? So we just want to make that real clear on the time. A couple things regarding apologetics and a little bit of Mars Hill. Apologetics, if you take a look at the ballot, you take a look at the rules, apologetics is delivered to someone who is curious or not in agreement with the gospel, okay? So that's who it's delivered to. So that's what you should be hearing from your speakers. Mars Hill, it is said that it is a message for those unfamiliar with biblical truth. So the audience, you as judges, are being that unbeliever, you're being that non-sympathetic, you're being that curious, but not in agreement with person. So that's the way you should receive that. In addition to with that, the phrase that the speaker explains ideas without Christian jargon, that's on the ballot. So keep that in mind when you're judging. We have in the apologetic slides, we have a big, broad definition of what evangelism is and what apologetics is. In a nutshell, evangelism is akin to preaching and a zealous advocacy for Christianity. Apologetics is a reasoned defense of the faith. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. Here are some room reminders. I hope you will take note of these. Other than the niceties of thank you for coming in and the niceties that you share with the speakers, don't converse with the competitors, okay? So don't do too much conversing there. It makes people nervous, both sides of the table, all right? Also, don't share, this is the way it's done, this is the way it should be done with the other judges with you, all right? If there's any questions about the way it should be done, please come see someone in the speech committee in the ballot return room. Also, don't coach a student in the room, okay? Save that for the ballot, all right? Let them leave, let them know all your notes. We love to see those notes. Also, real important, know the number of judges in your room before you let that first speaker open their mouth, all right? So you can take a look at the ballot. It'll say 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 4 of 5 on the top left, okay? So if there's any doubt, don't let anybody speak till you know you have all your judges, all right? You just don't want to have that happen. Likewise, we are probably a little short on timers, so judges, parent judges, plan on timing platform speeches and TERP speeches. So just plan on that. Have some sort of timing device with you. And along the lines with don't start before they're all there, don't leave before they all spoke. This is NITOC. No one's not going to show to your room, all right? They're gonna make it. So you be there, you encourage those community judges, and I think we've told them really well, it's like a 3-hour commitment the way we space things out. So don't leave without having seen all the speakers. Here's some hints for happiness. Some of these are good for parents, some of these are good for the students. Speech parents, if you want to see your children, you might want to consider going to those orientations and judging some debate rounds. Likewise, debate parents, you might want to judge speech rounds. And folks who are doing both, congratulations. I'm glad you're children are doing both. Judge the prelim rounds that your student may be in, meaning that when we get to the out rounds, we prefer for parents, especially in the semis, not to be judging an event with their child in the other room. We like staying above board, beyond reproach. So judge prelim rounds as much as possible that your students, your own children are doing. And you can, we don't want you to judge the same event twice because you might see the same student. Don't take a risk. I know there's a lot of people in broadcasting here, but don't judge the same event twice. But it's totally fine if someone hands you a ballot at the ballot push table and you look down and see a name that you judged already, as long as it wasn't the same event, that is totally fine. Students, triple check that you are giving the right speech in the right room, all right? An HI does not fly in a DI room, all right? So make sure, there's nothing wrong with coming up and double checking that, all right? Swallow your pride, make sure it's there. And here's something else, and it was in the video of the rules. There's been research. There's no advantage to going first or last. You know who wins that room? The best speaker. So if you're listed first in a room, and don't wait for someone else to warm the room up. You go and blow them out of the water, all right? So get to the room. That is really crucial at keeping the tournament running on time. All right, a couple further notes on extemp, and I'll finish up here. Extempers, there's a mandatory meeting tomorrow, 1 o'clock in the library. And really important for you, especially if you're a debater, to eat before you go there because the round starts right afterward. So head over to the dining commons, head over to the den, grab something to go. If there's somebody, if you're in line and extemper says, can I cut from you? I'm an extemp, let them, all right? So we want our extempers well fed. Also extempers, 9:30 in the morning, there will be someone from the team there so you can set up as early as 9:30 through that 1 o'clock mandatory time. Yes? Say that again? Oh yeah, bring your laptops. Do I have to tell you to bring your laptops? To the meeting. Do I have to tell you to bring your laptops to the meeting? When the event is happening 30 minutes later? Bring your laptops to the meeting. Broadcasting, you have 5:45 mandatory meeting tomorrow night. And just like that, at the library, same thing, eat beforehand. Again, come to orientation. You will be glad you did. One last thing, wildcard suggestions. We had about 20 people sending wildcard suggestions, which was terrific. So keep up the good work with that. And again, just to reiterate what Dr. Shalin said, Thursday, make sure you vote for those wildcards that you would like. That is it. I will hand it back over to Danny Danny Eldridge.
Great. We're going to do 3 more things. So we're going to do, right now we're going to do Parley Awards, and then we have some important announcements right after, just before you go. So don't leave after Parley Awards. So I'm going to welcome to the stage Mike Winter.
All right, let's give away some hardware. So what we're going to do, for starters here, is we're going to start with Parley Speaker Awards. So what I would like to do is get a few individuals to stage themselves. So what we're going to do, I'm going to call some names. I don't know, do we have a display? I think we do. And so I need the following individuals to head over to my left, your right. Let's go with Joseph Abel, Peter Anderson, Taya Dunleavy, Bailey Eldridge, Garrett Headley, Sierra Hirsch, James Kuhlman, Hannah Lane, Jonathan Lyle, Will Martin, Josiah Pop, Martin Rosa, Jeremy Tran, Jaden Warren, Spencer Whipple, and Jason Whitman. Alrighty, so let's talk Parley Speaker Awards. We're acknowledging the top 16 speakers, and although that was in no particular order, this will be, okay? Your 16th speaker, from Veritas, California, Jeremy Tran. 15th place speaker, where's Jeremy? We're missing Jeremy? Okay, 15th place speaker, from Logos, Colorado, Sierra Hirsch. In 14th, from Clash, Peter Anderson. In 13th, from Resolve, Colorado, Hannah Lane. In 12th, from Apollos, California, Taya Dunlevy. In 11th, from St. House, Spencer Whipple. In 10th, from Apollos, Texas, Matt Rosa. Number 9, from Invictus Fides, Bailey Eldridge. Number 8, from Verve, Jason Whitman. Number 7, from Palos, California, Jonathan Lyle. Number 6, from Arrows, Garrett Havley. Hey, how about that? We've got 5 left. Perfect. From Veritas, California, in 5th place, James Kuhlman. In 4th place, from Apollos, Texas, Jaden Warren. In 3rd, from Logos, Colorado, Will Martin. Now, before I break first and second, we have some sponsors this year that are sweetening the pot a little bit for the NITOC tournament. So this is not just a commercial, folks, okay? This would not be probably the best time for the commercial, but we have some sponsors who are giving some very nice scholarships at NITOC. And you're going to see them here tonight. You'll also see them next Saturday as well. And our first place speaker will receive a tuition scholarship from Oak Brook College of Law. There's a 50% off tuition for the first year and $1,000 discount in tuition for each successive year at Oak Brook Law School. And so we appreciate their willingness to support our kids. And actually, I know several people who graduate from Oak Brook. It's a fine law school. So, in second place, not getting the Oak Brook scholarship. How do you like that? Was that good? From Verve, Josiah Pop. And that makes your first place speaker at NITOC Quarterly, Joseph Abel. All right. Parliamentary debate octa-finalists. And I guess let's do this for speed. If you broke in Parley, why don't we just start staging all of you over here to your right. So if you were an octa-finalist, put yourself closer to the stage. I'm sorry, double octa-finalist, closer to the stage, octa-finalist behind, quarter-finalist behind. You get the idea. It reminds me of those choreographed dance things, you know, our marching band competitions. Okay, in 32nd place, from Resolve, Jonathan Leander. In 31st place, from Eagle Peak, Coughlin Seidel. In 30th, from White House, Missouri, Carolyn McGee. In 29, from Momentum, Howard Meyer. Did we get the names pronounced right? In 28, from Veritas, California, Kendrick McKinley. From Logos, Colorado, Ellison Vaughn. In 26, Lighthouse, Missouri, Marino and Palisano. In 25th, from Resolve, Florida, Stacy White. From Resolve, Enos and Johnson. 23rd, from Arrows, Edley and Reed. 22nd, from Ballard, Abel and Tom. Okay, good. In 21st, Veritas, California, Coolman and Smith. In 20th, from Logos, Colorado, Alibado and Burke. In 19th, Ray Whipple. In 18th, from Resolve, Lane McKinley. Also 6:02.
Wow.
Number 17, from College, Texas, Rosen Warren. Those are your octafinals. Give them a hand. Or double octafinals. Now for octafinals. All right, 16th place from Verve, Scott and Whitman. In 15th, from Invictus Speed Ace, Harding and Woolsey. In 14th, from Veritas, California, Bergeron and Kenyon. In 13th, from Modesto, Ernst and Ernst. In 12th, from Resolve, Butler and Plymouth. In 11th place, from Epic Square, Johnson and Johnson.
We did a great job.
10th place, from Kairos, Florida and Florida. Your top octafinals from bracket of Apollos, Anderson, Ohio. Give me a hand. Those are your octafinals. And quarterfinals to the stage. All right, 8th place. From Invictus Speed Ace, Beach on the sides. In 7th place, from Epic Square, Tay Wire. In 6th place, from Modesto, Tammy Baskets. Also vice president of the soccer game. Okay. And in 5th place, from Clash, Hardman and Shao. And those are your quarterfinals. And semifinals are now on stage. In 4th place, from Apollos, California, Dunleavy and Valenzuela. And your 3rd place team from Logos, Colorado, Rear and Martin. And we have our finalists on stage. I think it's time for the commercial. So we have a scholarship money as well for the 1st place team. Each partner will receive a $1,000 scholarship from College Plus, and each partner of the winning team will receive a full year one-ride tuition scholarship to Oakbrook College of Law, followed by 50% scholarship for all subsequent years of Oakbrook. So there's marbles on the table here. Well, we had a debate between Burr, Bates, and Pop on the Gov, and Invictus Fides, Eldridge on the opposition. It was a 7-2 decision. And on that 7-2, the runner-up is Burr, Bates, and Pop. Receiving the trophy and the scholarship from Invictus Fides, Eldridge and Eldridge. Thank you all for participating in Parley and for all your judging. I will turn it back over to Danny Eldridge. Okay. Time for a family moment.
All right, only one team left that hasn't done the provisional. So the duo team of Chrisley and Toll. You're it. Chrisley and Toll, make sure you see our provisional judges. Provisional script submission.
Fred, is it true that tomorrow we are not going to the University of South Carolina for the tournament?
That is true. We're very comfortable here.
Okay. And we are not going to Clemson University. It's not far. We're going to Furman tomorrow. I mean, you want to go to Furman tomorrow? Stay here? Well, Mr. Winter suggested a hotel. You want to bring back the Iron Horse? I know you're practicing at home with them. Come on, if the pictures are on Facebook, we all know they've seen it. So. Well, I was pretty tickled to see the results here. There is no quid pro quo with God, but these two people have they've been working to put this tournament on for you, not helping their kids. So while they're serving you, I just think it's a wonderful thing. Yeah,
Wait, that's
Didn't see that coming.
Couple things just to close announcements, and let's get you all home and get ready for tomorrow. Posting, tomorrow is post and go, all right? We're gonna start, 8:30 is postings, they'll be online, and in the main buildings, we're not gonna go through all the buildings that you're looking for, but you'll be able to pick them up online, whether on Speech Ranks or through the STOA app. So pick them up at 8:30, and then at 9 o'clock, we're ready to go. We're gonna run with the first two debate rounds. Also, if you have a t-shirt order, you can pick it up in the center here. All right, so we have still a lot of t-shirts to be picked up. Let's just close in prayer and get you out of here. Thank you. Parley participants, ballots are going to be in the back, so just pick them up as you go. They won't be a part of your package when you pick them up on Saturday. And just before we pray, you know, while this is fun, there is a serious part of life. And this past week or past summer or past spring, 2 weeks ago, Stoa lost a competitor, a 15-year-old Ellie Abelman from Colorado. And so we just want to keep her family in the prayers. Also from Colorado, Autumn Swin and Elijah Lowry are currently fighting for life. And we just want to lift them up in our prayers as we pray before we go. So let's just pray. Father God, we thank you for the many blessings you've given us. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and to come together as a community to be there for one another. We lift up to you the Edelman family and the Schwins and the Lowrys, and just be with them during this time. Father, we pray for this competition. We pray for safety as we go back and forth from our hotel rooms. We pray that you would all teach us something new during this week. We pray these things in Jesus Christ's precious name. Amen. Dismissed.